Good morning. It is Monday, August 14th, and it's the first day of school. I am finishing up a couple of last minute get ready items, and then we are headed out the door.
You need to go potty?
One of the most difficult things for me about the first couple days is reminding myself to eat and drink because there's so much going on, and my students are like always asking questions and needing things. It's a lot going on at once, and sometimes your own self-care can get forgotten in the middle of that. So try and make sure I get hydrated this morning before the craziness starts. I need to pick up my color print items that I did yesterday while I was at the school. It is very humid. When you walk outside, it fogs up anything, like my glasses, the windshield. Hopefully we're not going to have rain this afternoon because this teacher is not ready for inside recess today for the first day of school. Honestly, I have not thought through inside recess at all. I need to think that through. But luckily, the time of day that we have recess, it's not a common time for us to have thunderstorms around here this time of year. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be all right. I'm gonna need to buy some recess stuff this year, and that's gonna have to wait till the end of the month. So I think if we were to have an inside recess before then, it's gonna have to be something like putting on a cartoon and letting them have a drawing contest. Or maybe we could play, we might be able to find a little ball and play silent ball. That would be more active for the kids that need to move, because some of them just really need to move. Okay, I'm just doing a quick touch up of my curls because yesterday I curled my hair really well for church. This is like my tip. I wash my hair really good, condition it, do all the like long things on Saturday night. And then I do a really good style on Sunday morning, and then Monday when I'm tired and in a hurry, it's fast to get my style back the way that I want it. Okay. Hopefully that will stay because I'm not spraying it. I'm just gonna let it do its thing, and however it falls is how it falls. We'll get some mileage out of that, hopefully. All right. I do not have basin here, but I can take these and do my makeup in the car. This, take this, turn this off. All right, so let's go. It's a little warm to be wearing this, but I want something to cover my shoulders if I feel like I need it. So when we get in the classroom, I'll probably ditch it.
Okay, you be a good boy.
So it's actually Tuesday because what happened yesterday was I dropped my phone at my feet in the car and I didn't realize it. I thought it was like in my stack of stuff that I was carrying into the classroom, and it was maybe an hour into my day before I realized that I did not have my phone. So yeah, I didn't get to do any vlogging, needless to say, and it was a super busy day one. Not terrible, but I have a large class, and so teaching procedures is just a little bit more complicated because of that fact. Takes a little longer. When people aren't doing the right thing, it's a little bit more crazy than it would be with a smaller class. So, and of course, at the beginning of the year, they don't know the expectations yet. So, you know, there was a lot of that going on the first day, but it is the end of day 2, and I had a much better day 2 than day 1. Not that day 1 was bad. It was not. It was just very like active on my part. Like I was tired, and my room is like so humid for some reason. It's just been really, really super hot in Eastern North Carolina and very, very humid, high humidity. So when you walk into the building, you can feel the air and it feels great. But then you go into the classrooms and you're packed in with a whole bunch of students, and it's just, it gets warm. It warms up pretty quick. So it was like, I just felt like I was sweating. Today I wore my sleeveless dress that's a little bit shorter so that I had more, you know, air flow getting to myself. So it was a little bit better today. A friend of mine is going to bring in a box fan. Anyway, I'll be glad to have the box fan. I've got to figure out where I'm going to put it because there's not a lot of free space in my room. Somewhere where the kids aren't going to like trip over it or something, or, you know, hurt themselves or anything like that. So got to figure out the logistics of that. But got through a lot of my plans the first day, which was amazing. And I'm sitting here like working on what I'm going to plan for the next few days because I have a list of activities, but I'm trying to just see, now that I see how long it's taking me to do things, like what I'm actually going to get accomplished. So we're working on different types of graphs each day. So we're graphing a different thing. Like today we graphed how many siblings they had, and we're reviewing what they know about different types of graphs from 3rd grade. And then we have to start with simple, but then we're going to make it more complicated to where they're counting by different numbers than 1, and where they're using halves and things like that. So we're going to be doing a couple different graphs. Like tomorrow we're going to do favorite snack. Thursday we're going to do favorite ice cream flavor, and Friday we're going to do a frequency table with which month their birthdays are. So we're starting our reading tomorrow, our curriculum tomorrow. Tomorrow is also our PLC day, which is our like team meeting day of the week. So I won't have extra time tomorrow to get things together. So I'm just kind of trying to see if there's any materials I need to pull or any copies I need to run. But then going into next week, I'll have those all ready to go and put into my little organizer back there, my drawers, my Monday through Friday drawers. So yeah, just, you know, the first few days is always a little different and you don't know how much you're going to get through. So yeah, I was working on my room environment and getting ready for open house, and that was like the last thing on my list if I had extra time, and I did not have extra time to do it. So we'll have everything ready to go for week 2, but my plans are done. I just, you know, I'm kind of trying to feel out this new class and see what kind of pacing I can do. And as we go, I'm sure we're going to get faster. Like today we were faster because I just had to address some of the issues that I saw yesterday. And then, you know, the kids met my expectations a lot better today. So we're working on it. It's going to be a process, but it always is this time of year. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, and then I think I'm gonna head out early today because yesterday I stayed till 5 and I don't wanna stay quite that late today, so. It is Wednesday afternoon and I've had a pretty good day today. The dismissal was not great today, but you know, it's the first week. It's going to be a little bit of getting our procedures together, but the rest of the day went really smoothly. We got quite a bit of instruction done. We did almost our full reading lesson, which it was our first day with a new curriculum, so that's good. We have like one 20-minute activity left that we need to do tomorrow, so I'll probably just go ahead and pull that in and then look and see if there's anything that I can kind of like downsize a little bit for tomorrow's lesson so that I can, be ready for day 3 on Friday. We were working on personal narratives today, so we had some fun because we got to talk about favorite school memories, and I actually shared one with my students of how I got in trouble when I was their age because I had some shells from my grandmother's shell collection that she had given me, and I told them the story of how I was just so excited about these shells because they were all different shapes and sizes and markings, and I just thought they were so neat to look at. And I wanted to take them to school to share with my class, but it was like, I think towards the beginning of the school year because my grandparents had brought them back from Florida, or maybe it was like the new year because they usually went to Florida in the winter and then they would come back. But in any case, I was going to share them with my class, and my mom's like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. So she told me to keep them at home, and I put them in my jacket pocket and took them to school anyway. And I almost got away with it. In fact, I didn't really end up sharing them with anyone because I remember being so nervous because I knew my mom had told me not to, that I just left them in my pocket the entire day. But then I got home and my mom's like, your jacket is dirty. Let's wash it. And so I took my jacket off, not even thinking that the shells were still in the pocket. And my mom was like in the laundry room and going through the pockets like moms do, and found the shells and called me in there, and then I was in trouble. So it's always fun to like tell students your own memories from school from when you were little, because I think they enjoy imagining you being their age. And especially like when you get in trouble and stuff like that, they can relate to that. So they're like, oh, it's the teacher. She got in trouble. And so that was good. I got to, build some community there, do a little bonding moment by telling my students, how I got in trouble. And then they actually all worked very, very hard on their writing. They had to write their own personal memories from school. So we did a little bit of talking about it. And then I put some of their words up on the board that they wanted to use as a word bank, and they got started. And I always tell my class, like, if it's not one of these words that you asked for, then try to sound it out, write the sounds that you hear, and circle the word so we can come back to it later, and I can help you with any words that you weren't sure on. And it really does seem to make them write more fluently. They're not just sitting there, because a lot of students are just afraid of making a mistake, and they feel like they can't spell things. So if you tell them to sound it out, write what they hear, but then they circle it, then that acknowledges that they're recognizing it might not be spelled right. So they're self-monitoring, and then you are going to come back to it later and help them with the words that they circled so that they can correct them. So I think it's a quick way for them to do some editing of their own papers without belaboring it, because this was a quick write, and we're not going to take it through all the stages of the writing process. It's just meant to get them, engaged in the task of writing, and they write for lots of different reasons in this curriculum. So I'm really looking forward to teaching the writing, because I always loved teaching writing when I was an elementary teacher. And even as a science teacher, I taught my kids claim evidence reasoning writing, and I enjoyed that. So I think writing is one of those things that you just have to teach kids to enjoy the collaboration and the process of it, sharing of their own stories, and it makes it more interesting to them when they can do that. So yeah, we went ahead and we did our reading. We are working on bar graphs today. We were talking about what to do when your scale is not 1. So in 3rd grade, they really, they introduce that and students are exposed to it, but it's something they still need practice with when they get to 4th grade. So we're really like honing in on that. And then once I feel like they're comfortable with that, then I'll teach them mean, median, and mode, which is the depth of the 4th grade standard. So we are going to go ahead and work on picture graphs tomorrow, or pictographs, and we're going to do a continuation of, scale that's not just 1. So we'll be working on that tomorrow. Students are going to take their writings that they did today and condense them into 6-word memories. So that's like a summary type activity, which is kind of hard for them, I think, picking what's most important, but we'll see how they do with it because they did really well with today's writing. So I was really proud of them. And then this afternoon, we did how to draw a monarch butterfly for science because I want them to do some sketching, some nature journal sketching for our monarch migration project. And so I wanted to teach all of them right off the bat kind of how you draw a monarch butterfly so that they can't say, oh, I can't draw that. At least they've had some experience with walking through the steps of drawing one. And the nice thing was we got to talk about the body parts. So when we do a little bit about adaptations and how they survive, based on, the different body parts that help them eat and, protect them from predators and things like that, we've already discussed some of the body parts. So that's good. So I felt like we got all that done today. We did our leader and me, and we also, I showed them how to start working on the art part of the rainbow project, which we're doing as like a writing that will hang up for basically, it's not called open house, it's curriculum night, but it's basically like, parents come in and see what we're learning, and I want to have something, hung up as a project. So that will be our project that we will be hopefully done with by then because we've started quite early on it. So yeah, so I'm sitting here in the library because I need to finish a paper for my class. The one class that I was taking over the summer is ending up on Friday, which, it's not the ideal week for that to be happening because it's the first week of school, but I just needed to focus and I needed reliable internet, which sometimes when we have storms, which we're having a storm this evening, our internet's not always reliable at home, even with hotspot. So I'm here in the library working on that, and then Joe's gonna pick me up in about an hour. I've been working for an hour, and I took after school, I'm always kind of fried for a little while, but I did do a little bit of grading and I looked at their practice math, so I kind of know who I need to help the most tomorrow, so that'll help me plan. And then I need to also address one thing that I saw that was kind of most of the class problem. So I did get that done, and I've collected a few pieces that are kind of like beginning benchmark pieces that I can put in my data binder to show where students started with their skills. So I feel like we're doing pretty good for the first week of school. It's just, like I said, going to take some time. I'm going to end the vlog off here because I need to finish this, and I will check back in with you next week. I'll have a new vlog, and hopefully I will get more of a variety of things in here for you because the first week will be behind us. So I hope you enjoyed this look into my crazy busy first week. It might have been a little chopped up. Sorry about that. But that's just the way it goes sometimes at the beginning of the school year. As always, don't forget to work hard, be kind, and amazing things will happen. Thanks for watching. Bye.